Hey guys, Zix here. Time for another episode of Minesaga Skyblock. Kind of ahead of schedule. This was originally planned for Sunday, and I'm actually re-recording it because I wanted to change a couple things and add a couple things to what I originally did, as well as comment further on the previous upload I had, which is getting some positive and negative reviews. First, you can see from the title, Goodbye is Top. That's right, I am quitting competition. You will not see me in Is Top 1 through 3, at least as the island owner, ever again. It's possible that in the future I might join an island that is competing, but I will not be competing it with them. I will just be there. I'm just saying I don't know what the future 100% holds, but I am done. I'm done competing. I can't do it anymore. And we'll go into why. But first, before we do that, I want to comment further on the penguin trick that I was talking about in the previous episode. A lot of people are having an issue with me using the term loophole for several reasons, from what I'm gathering from the comments. The biggest is people don't think it is a loophole, but if you go ahead and you look up the definition of a loophole, I mean it's like it talks about contracts and stuff like that, but if you look at its core meaning, it's doing something to go around the system, to do what the system was not intended to do. Creature hunger was intended as a cooldown so that you cannot keep them out all of the time. That was the purpose. Yes, they are tied to the player. So one of the arguments is, well, you're changing the player. Well, actually, they're not. Actually, Penguin is tied to the island. So when you're changing owner of the island, you're going around the intended purpose of what the Penguin is designed to do. And you can argue that all you want. You're not going to change my mind. You're also not going to change the definition of the word loophole. But here's the thing. Just because it's a loophole doesn't necessarily seen as a bad thing. Gullible went ahead and approved it. We actually confirmed it with Gullible before we used this technique, before we figured out how to use it ourselves, because if it was something that was not supposed to be done, we weren't going to go ahead and use it. But Gullible said, hey, you're good. Oh, my dog. Hold on a second. Ugh. Wouldn't be a Zixter episode without something unprofessional like a dog barking in the background. Anywho, Gullible went ahead and said it was okay, which means it's not immoral, it's not illegal, it's not against the rules, which can also be argued if you look at the definition for what they consider cheating. But he's okayed it, which means it's not immoral. There's nothing wrong with doing it. But that doesn't change the fact that it is a loophole. The system was designed for Penguin to be out for however long it is, 20 minutes, whatever. And when you're changing the island owner to use someone else's Penguin, that's a loophole. You found a way around the system to make it work for you. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know I put some negative connotations on it in the previous video, but that's simply because I don't think it should be allowed. But since it is allowed, which again, I don't agree with, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing it. And that's why I wanted everyone to have access to it. And fortunately, nobody's having an issue with me releasing this information, because then I'd kind of have a little sideways glance at you, like, what's your problem, man? What's your problem? Why? But, you know, the whole thing about releasing this is so that everybody has access to this feature. And that's where we're going with that. Okay, so why am I quitting is top? There's quite a few reasons. Well, first of all, let me just put something out there. I'm not quitting because we lost this round. That's not why I'm quitting. I've lost many times before to the same team, as a matter of fact. And they've lost to us, and they kept playing. That is not why I'm quitting is top. That's not even a factor. I don't care if I lose. It's not a big deal. That's just the way it goes. Back in the day, they won a whole round. I mean, it was under a different name, and they had some different players. Some of them still there. And then the next round, I won a bunch, and the next round they won a bunch. Then the next round I won a bunch, and now we're up to this round. So yeah, I don't care if I lose. It happens. That's what you get when you compete. You can't win every time. I mean, some people do win pretty consistently, but that's not me. I'm not. That's not how we're not good like that. Anyway, priorities. The main reason why I am quitting competition, why I am quitting is top, is because I have found myself stepping away from my family to compete, to work on the team. And I have missed moments in my child's development, both of my children's development and growth, because I have to be on at ISTOP. I have to leave the pool in the backyard to go inside to update the island level or to send my money to place hay or something like that. And I don't like that. I don't like that I have made a video game a priority over my family. And, that's, to be loosely understood. It's not like this is my life 24/7 and I don't listen or care about my family. That's not the case. But I found myself taking certain opportunities away for spending time with my family to spend time with my island. And, so I'm not putting anything against the island. I love them. I've loved playing with them. But that's not where that's not where that's not where I should be. I need to prioritize. Also, I need to focus more on my channel. I've noticed that competing has taken away some of the quality of my content and my ability to produce content. So that's not necessarily the number 2, but I guess it's in my notes as the number 2. That's not necessarily the next most important reason. The next most important reason is the toxicity. I will admit that some of the negativity I get is self-inflicted. I put my foot in my mouth on more than one occasion because I'm somewhat of an outspoken guy. I don't really have much of a filter, and it gets me into trouble quite often. A lot of the stuff is just, healthy banter that, some people just don't appreciate, I guess. But I mean, I can't control that. Like, sometimes I brag, if you win ISTOP, you get bragging rights, and I don't think that's a problem. Some people have argued that that's why they do not like me, is because I've bragged about winning. But I've seen them do it too, or people that are on their team do it too, or other people do it too, so I don't really count that as self-deserved. But I'm going to give you a very, very good example as to how I have a tendency to step out of line. In the previous episode, while I stand by my convictions that the penguin loophole should be patched and should be removed, I did not need to call out these guys. I did not need to make them look bad for them using a tactic that is perfectly legal. And that was wrong of me to do. I realize that now. It was a frustrating moment when it happened, when we lost, and we kind of putzed around. We couldn't figure out why. And when we learned about the double penguin trick, we kind of just assumed that was it. And then, maybe it had a part in it, but it's probably not the only reason. I mean, they've beaten us before. We've beaten them before. It's kind of a go back and forth thing. And I should not have called them out. I should not have said that. And I didn't say they didn't deserve, but I kind of implied that they didn't deserve, and they deserve the ISTOP 1 spot because they didn't, as far as I know, they did not cheat, they did not do anything that was not within the rules, and for that, I apologize. I apologize to, let me say everyone, because I need to. I apologize to JBM, I apologize to Uncreative Mind, to D1Shoot, to Sloth, to Flexo, to VLD, to Miner, to Rainbow Shark, and to Ransos. And I mean it. And whether you guys accept the apology or not, that's up to you. But I have to. I feel like I need to clear the air. I need to get it off my chest that I stepped out of line. I should not have called you guys out, and I'm sorry. Next. Yes, so like I said, some of the negativity I get, I put on myself by saying things that I probably shouldn't say. Also, some of the negativity I get comes with putting myself out there on YouTube. Now, I know I'm small. I know I'm still a small YouTuber. I don't have any delusions of grandeur like I'm this big important guy that everybody cares about. But when you put yourself out on YouTube, you naturally get hate with it, whether it's deserved or not. And so I understand that some of the negativity I get comes from just simply putting myself out there and being who I am. And then the rest of the negativity I get, there's a direct result from competition. If you guys recall earlier in this season, I think one of the first episodes actually, I started a hashtag that hasn't really gotten any traction, but it really wasn't intended to. It was kind of really a joke. I don't really do the hashtag thing where I was talking about compete with respect. Simply competing, you're going to get some of that toxic environment. You're going to get some of that stuff from the randos. And that, it's to be expected, but it can easily be avoided by not competing. What I have an issue is when I get the toxicity from people that I considered my friends and called me their friends. And then whatever bad blood happened to change that, now all of a sudden we're not friends. And it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't competing. And now you could say, well, you can put that on them. But again, I have said and done things that, probably were a little bit out of line. And so a direct result of that could have been the bad blood that I have gotten. But it still shouldn't have resulted in what went down. So I'm not going to call out a name because I never do, but if you were there when it happened, you'll be able to put two and two together. Someone that's I considered a friend, while I was AFK / not online, called me a court jester. In which, maybe they thought was harmless at the time. If you actually look up what a court jester was, in reality, not what they were depicted in like movies and shows, they were pretty much the town fool that would be paraded in front of the royal court. And if that town fool did not provide adequate entertainment, they were typically executed. So basically, what this person is saying is that I am a joke. And while many people may feel that way, if that's how they want to feel, I don't feel that way. I don't think I'm just a joke. I think I play a decent role in the community, just like everybody else does. And I'm not saying that I'm more important than anybody else, but everybody that plays this game plays an important role in the community, because without us, there would be no community. And so I don't feel like anybody should be relegated to being a joke. And, maybe the person that said this meant no ill will, but the fact is they did. And then someone on my island happened to be online and saw it and sent me exactly what was said and how it was said. And maybe some of it was lost to translation, but there was no apology. There was no, oh, I'm just kidding. No, Zix is a court jester. So I took that personally. And again, if it came from a rando, someone that I don't care about, I wouldn't have really cared. Whatever. I would have been, what a jerk. And I would have moved on. But it came from someone that I considered my friend, someone that calls me their friend, someone that has shown interest in my family and my life. And so it cut pretty deep. So that never would have happened. That never would have happened if I wasn't competing. And again, you could put some of that on the person and not on me, but it's possible that I did or said something to this person that rubbed them the wrong way in regards to competition. And I think I have a basic idea of where it comes from, but I don't really want to get into that because then it will really point out the person. And I'm not trying to call out this specific person. I'm just using it as an example that, you know, this toxic nature that comes out with this kind of competition. I don't want to be part of it anymore. And I know that a lot of the damage has already been done. It can't be undone. It's not like I just say I'm done competing and then everybody loves me. I know that that's not how that works. But I'm hoping that by just playing the game, I can eliminate future occurrences starting. At least that's my hope. Because I don't need that negative energy in my life. And I know simply by saying that, some people are going to use that as an advantage to try to come and attack me. And that is on you. If you feel the need to do that, that's on you. That just shows the kind of person that you are and the kind of person that you want to be. And that I will not care, because I don't care about you, the person that's gonna do that. I care about the people that have followed me. Some of you have followed me from the very beginning, and I love you guys. I would not have the 400 some subs that I have now without you guys and your continued support. And most of the community is pretty positive. There's just a few. There's just a few, and I'm like I said, if they're not considered my friend, I can brush them off pretty easily. But of course, it adds up. When it keeps happening, it keeps happening. It adds up, and it gets trying. So we're gonna try to move on from that, and hopefully, removing myself from competition can do that. Which, by the way, this is after reset. I forgot to mention that. Not now. Well, I don't know if there's really anything we can do to catch up to the current winners right now. We're not done competing for this round. We're still trying. But I don't. That's not the purpose of this video. So what's next for me? Really, I just want to have fun. I want to enjoy the game again, without the pressure of competing. And the saddest part, it's less sad for me that I'm not going to be competing anymore, and more sad for me that I'm not going to be playing with some of the friendships, some of the people I've played with. And it's not like I'm just going to lose, excuse me, those relationships that I've formed, but I won't be playing with them anymore, so it's going to change a little bit, go moving forward. So I want to spend a couple of minutes to do a couple shout outs to some of the people that I've played with. And if I forget you, I'm sorry. I've played with probably 30 people over the last year, so it's going to be difficult to remember everybody. First and foremost, our moderator, Senor Philippe123. The friendship that I have gotten with him, with you, is one that I hope carries on. I think he's the longest standing member of the current team, besides me, of course. Obviously, I played with other people back in the day, but he was one of the first people that I brought on, aside from them, the original crew. And he's still here, and it's been great playing with him. I know a lot of people don't like Philip, and that's probably because he muted you, and you probably deserved it. So that's on you. If you actually spend the time to get to know him, he's a great dude. He's a great kid. And I hope that he continues I hope he continues to be a mod, because I think that he is very good at it. I know that, again, some people may not agree, but I know him very well personally. So yeah, there's that. Next, I want to do a shout out to some of the newer players that have made a strong impact on us this round, and that would be Hattie and Lightfire. You both have been a great resurgence of energy. You both have been super active and really have carried the team this round. I'm so glad that I recruited you, or we recruited you, that we brought you on, because, well, it's been fun to play with you, and like I said, we probably wouldn't even have what we have right now if it weren't for you guys, so I really appreciate that a lot. I appreciate you. There's Litigant and Lazarus, who joined as a packaged deal. And while Litigant has been a little bit more active than Lazarus, it's not like he has not been here. You see all of those Mignone minions scattered around the island. This round and last round, that was Lazarus, and that was a shout out to my channel, and that was it was very, very appreciated. It shows that you care. You're watching me, and that you care about me, and I love that. It's fantastic. And Litigant has been a great addition as well. He's helped us with VPSs, with Linux VPSs, which I don't use anymore, but he helped us get those set up, and he's been kind of our PvPer. And I don't know where he's going after this round, but whoever he joins, make sure you use him for Outpost. He's very good. I think he's probably our best PvPer on the team. Let's see. Pixel came back, but he's already moved on to bigger and better things, different realms. Let's see who else. I'm WK. Tried to join for a couple of rounds, and we finally gave him a shot, and I'm glad we did. He's also been a nice addition. He actually came to Minesaga from my channel, which I thought was awesome. I'm small YouTuber, but it's cool to know that I was able to have an impact on the server, and I hope that he's not the only player I've brought to the channel, to the server. But he's the only one that I know about, at least that has made it, very vocal, to me anyway. And he was just on YouTube. He found my channel. Maybe he was searching Skyblock servers. I don't know exactly how he found my channel, but he found my channel and he gave Minesaga a try, and it's been his home since then. And that's really cool. It makes me feel very good. Let's see who else. Chuffmaster 2K has joined recently, and he's also been an active welcome addition. Who else? Kong. Now, he's no longer playing Minecraft, actually, but we would not be where we are today without him. You may not remember him because he's been gone for quite a while. But yeah, he gave us a big boost. He came around the same time as Philip, but he had to focus on school. He had to prioritize, similarly to what I'm doing. But he had to prioritize on school, and for that's going to take up more time than he can play with. And he still doesn't know if he's going to. He meant the last time he wasn't sure if he was going to come back or not. He did say he would join us if he came back, but since I don't know if there will be an us as far as underdogs is concerned, I don't know. I don't know how that will work out. Maybe he'll go solo or join somebody else. And if you do have the opportunity to recruit anybody, let alone Kong, from our team, you should, because everybody that we have has contributed in their own unique way, and we wouldn't have won like we did without them. That's for sure. Next we have SJ941, very loyal player. He did go away for a little while, but he came back. If any of you know his history, he started with Endless. Well, not started with Endless, but was with Endless, and Endless wanted to go solo. So SJ came over here to join us. And he's been a fun addition to our team as well. A lot of the buildings you see in my videos on our island are from him. Some of them he repeats from previous rounds, but that's because he likes them, and I have no issue with that. And of course, some of the stuff you see was built by Ruse. But we're shouting out team members right now. Let's see. PF and Flash joined for a little bit, but unfortunately he was banned. And that brings us to some of the more polarizing members. Yanatanung and Stop Looking. So with Yanatanung, he is an interesting character. A lot of the hate that I've gotten may have been a direct result from some of the energy that he puts out there. But it's if you really get to know him as a person, he's a decent dude. He's a good dude. He likes to grind people's gears, and he likes to see the reaction that he gets from grinding said gears. And he likes to argue. And while he can sometimes use colorful language to do that, if you can look past that, he really just likes to debate. He likes to argue, and he likes to grind people's gears to get a reaction. And while that may, not be for everyone, him and I have actually had some pretty funny and enjoyable conversations because of that. And I've gotten to know him, and like I said, I think he's actually a pretty good dude. You just got to get to know him. Stop looking. He's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way too, but he's just a straight shooter, similar to me, just a little bit more colorfully. I often just go right at people with how I feel, but I tend to put a little bit more politically correct spin on it. He doesn't have that filter, so again, he may have rubbed some people the wrong way, but he's really just he's a decent dude too, and he was quite the grinder. He hasn't really been around much this round, and that's probably has a lot to do with we had some pretty high confidence going into this round, and it kind of just got wrecked. His top one, JBM's team, they wrecked us so hard that I think half our team kind of just threw in the towel. Which again, that's fine. I kind of did too, so I'm not gonna put that on anybody. Sorry if you hear me uh, fiddling with the pen. I'm just standing here, so it's difficult. I have I got the Jimmy legs. I fidget with stuff constantly if I'm not doing stuff. I have a lot of energy, um, a lot of restless energy. So I'll try to stop doing. Hopefully that didn't go through the microphone. Um, I think that's pretty much everybody that I wanted to give a shout out to. I may have forgotten someone, and I apologize. If I did, let me know, and I'll shout you out in the comments if you feel that I should have mentioned you. I got everybody. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to remember. I've played with a lot of people over the year. Over the years? Really hasn't been years. Over the year. It's been about a year of competition. So the future, I'm gonna play solo next round. I'm gonna stay on Jurassic because that's my home. I don't see a reason to go to other realms just yet. I probably will happen, but I'm gonna stay on Jurassic. I am going to continue to work on income, and it is possible that you see me in Is Top 4, 5, or in 10 at some point, but I have no intentions of making it to 1, 2, and 3 any longer. I don't want that stress and pressure anymore. But I might find a reason to buy a penguin or something every now and then, so I might push for 4, 5. At some point, again, I don't even know if I'm going to bother with that. I think I've had my spotlight long enough. I think it's time for some new blood to come in. Like Jay, for example, _J. He's been kind of wrecking every realm, so I wouldn't mind stepping out of the way for him. He's relatively new. Let's see. But that doesn't mean in future rounds after this next round that I won't play with people. And I might even play again with some of the people I'm playing with now. But I won't be competing. Sorry. Now, if you are competing and I'm making money, sure, I'll give you the money that I'm making. But my goal is not to compete anymore. So I'm not doing all that stressful stuff. So that's going to be on you whether you recruit me or not, because I'm not going to be the same player that I was while I was competing. But really what I want to do is I want to play with my subs and my fans that have stuck with me and have supported me and have gotten me where I am. and hopefully with um, some decent builders, because that's really the route that I want to go. Like, I don't know how many building episodes I'm gonna do, but I am going to feature some builds, hopefully some that I build. I'm probably going to start doing some bigger schematica builds. I have always been opposed to building with schematica because I don't know, it feels like it takes away some of the creativity, but but there's not enough time. The rounds aren't long enough to build something massive by hand. So I'm gonna have to use some schematica, and there is some to be said about you just throwing a schematic down and rolling with it. Yeah, maybe that's, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of planning and art to put something big together, especially when it involves multiple schematics. It's not just plopping a bunch of stuff down and saying there it is. It's more than that. It takes more skill than that. So hopefully I can get into that. Let's see. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry if I droned on, but I had a lot to say. I wanted to touch base on the loophole. I wanted to apologize. Priorities. Toxicity, court jester, fund income solo. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on a VPS tutorial next, which isn't very skyblocky, but it's going to be to get your skyblock clients running without running your computer. So it is going to be an episode, so hopefully I can help out some people there. And let's play the game and have fun. Take it easy.